Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Potomac and Chesapeake Association for College Admission Counseling Virtual College Fair. Thank you so much for being here. We are really excited to have you. My name is Catherine, and I will be your facilitator for this session. Before we get started, we do have a few housekeeping items to note. First, your camera and microphone are off. You are muted and your video is off. The panelists can't see or hear you. If you have any questions at all, feel free to use the Q&A button to type in your questions to the presenters at any time. They are here, ready and available to answer your questions. All sessions are being recorded, including this one, and will be available at strivescan.com/PCACAC. We are currently in session C2, where my mouse is circling at the moment. And this is also the same order of presentations. So without further ado, I'll get out of the way and kick it off to our first representative from Springfield College.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Georgie Mavrogeorgis, and I am one of the admissions counselors at Springfield College. I'm going to go ahead and get started with the presentation for you all. Alrighty, so this is a screenshot of our beautiful campus. Springfield College itself is about 135 years old. We are the birthplace of basketball as well. Basketball was created by a graduate student by the name of James Naismith. He was given an assignment in graduate school to figure out a way to keep our football players in shape during winter, and he came up with basketball. So our Humanics philosophy is our mission statement here at Springfield College. It's to educate students in spirit, mind, and body for leadership in service to others. So we want to make sure when students graduate from Springfield College, they're as well-rounded as possible when they go off into the work field. We also understand that, yes, education is important, right? And you're here for academics, but everything else that you learn outside of the classroom is just as important. So this is a little snapshot of our campus. We're one unified campus, so there's not a busy road dividing us. You can walk from your buildings to your residence halls in under 10 minutes. That's Lake Massasoit. Some of our residence halls are right on the outskirts of it, and you're guaranteed housing for all 4 years. This is just a little photo of some campus programming and a student hanging out in the quad area. We do tons of programming. We programmed throughout the pandemic with safety precautions as well. Some of the things that we did was food truck Saturdays. We had an ice skating rink. We set up a beach. We did axe throwing. So lots of fun stuff on campus. We have about 4,000 students, but about 2,200 of those students are undergraduate students, about 1,000 are graduate, and then about 1,000 are fully remote or regional. And then 95% is our placement rate. So our students are getting jobs and they're getting into graduate school within 6 months. We have 40+ majors here at Springfield College. Some of our popular majors are occupational therapy, physician assistant, physical therapy, as well as athletic training. Those are direct entry programs. Your class sizes are about 20 to 22 students per class, so they are smaller classes. Athletics, we have intramural sports. You make your own teams with your friends and compete for a championship t-shirt. Club sports, a bit more demanding. You'll have practices and play against other schools. And then Division III athletics, we're within the top 5%, so we have really good sports teams. And one fun fact is if our coaches are full-time coaches, they have to teach at least one class at Springfield College. So they're getting to know the demands of the classroom and also getting to know some of their athletes, not only on the field, but within a classroom setting. So to apply to Springfield College, it's super easy. It's through the Common Application. There's no fee. You'll write an essay. Your high school transcripts will get sent over to us from your counselor. SAT and ACT scores are completely optional for all programs for fall of 2022. You'll need an academic reference. And then if you'd like to do a personal interview, you're more than welcome to. We do review applications holistically. So every part of your application is just as important as your grades. So make sure someone proofreads your essay and then you get some really good letters of recommendation. So every student at Springfield College, 100% of first-year students are going to get some sort of scholarship to come here. So those scholarships are broken down based off of grade point average. They're up on the screen. They're called merit-based scholarships. Then we have need-based aid, which is based off the FAFSA. So if you'd like to keep up with Springfield College, we do have some different social media platforms. We also have an open house coming up on September 26th. So if you'd like to join us on campus, please come. We are doing an in-person event. There'll be a ton of different offices as well as clubs and organizations there. And you get to meet with some of the Springfield College students. So it's super exciting. Thank you all for listening to me. I'm going to drop my contact information in the chat. So if you do have any questions or you'd like to meet for a private Zoom, we can absolutely do that. Well, I look forward to hopefully meeting some of you all in person this fall. Alrighty, have a great night, everyone.
Great, thank you. The next representative is from Simmons University.
Hi, everyone. Let me just share my screen. And then we'll jump right into the presentation. But my name is Shalana Smart. Or Shay, and I use she, her pronouns. And I'm one of the assistant directors at Simmons University. We're a small liberal arts women-centered institution right in the city of Boston. So as I mentioned, we're a very small institution with a little bit less than 1,800 undergraduate students, a bunch of majors and a bunch of clubs and organizations. One of the cool things about our location and our institution is that we are a member of a consortium called the Colleges of the Fenway, which include 4 other institutions, and within all 5 institutions, students can take classes, pick up a minor, and join clubs and organizations. So while we have like over 60 majors, you can also pick up a minor at a different institution. So you get the small campus where I think it matters in the classroom, but then you have a larger social experience if that's something that you're looking for. And we are in Boston, which is something that I mentioned, and it's something that I think is very amazing. And I might be a little biased because I am from Boston. I'm a Boston native. But one of the great things about the city of Boston is that 1/3 of the population are college students, which means there's a lot of things going on in the city all the time to make sure that students are being engaged. So while you'll be engaged at Simmons, you'll also be engaged within the city. Some of the cool things about our location are the Isabel Historic Garden Museum, as well as the Museum of Fine Arts. As Simmons students, you can get free admission. You do get free admission into those places. And my fun plug is if you've never been to the Gardner Museum, you have to go. It's amazing. It's really beautiful, and it can turn into a study space for you because you don't have to pay to go in there. So definitely Boston is a great place to be. It's a great place to be a college student. And I always encourage students that if you haven't been, definitely explore. We do have a bunch of different majors and minors. Some of the ones that we're most popularly known for are nursing and physical therapy. Those both are direct entry programs with a priority deadline of November 1st for nursing. In addition to that, we also have a couple of 3+1 programs where you can get your bachelor's and your master's. Those programs include a master's in public policy, a master's in library and information science, and a master's in social work. We also have 4+1 options where you can apply that for them in your sophomore year of college. But one thing that we really value at Simmons is definitely having professional preparation along with the liberal arts education. So while you're going to focus in your major, you're also going to have opportunities to do things outside of the classroom to really learn holistically and be able to apply your learning in multiple different settings. With that being said, all of our students do participate in some sort of real world learning. For nursing and physical therapy students, it's clinicals. For social work students, it's field work. And for everyone else, it really doesn't matter what you do as long as you do something, whether that's an internship, whether that's research, whether that's an independent study. We really just want you to get outside of the classroom and learn something. And one thing I love about Simmons and Simmons students is that they only have to do this one time, but they typically do it multiple times and have multiple different experiences outside of the classroom, which leads to the success that they have after. Simmons. And I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but we are a women-centered institution. What that means is that we were founded as a women's college, and we're also inclusive to trans and non-binary students. So we use the term women-centered to be a bit more inclusive. And as a women-centered institution, you're really allowed to be in a space that affirms your identity, and that just allows you to be more expressive about what you're passionate about. I personally am a big fan of a women-centered institution. So if you have any questions about that, you can always feel free to email me or sign up for what we have called Fin Pals, and you can talk to students about that experience. But basically, 10 out of 10 would recommend. And thank you so much for listening to me. I'll leave my contact information in the chat if you have any questions or want to talk to me more. Thanks.
Thank you. We really appreciate it. Just a friendly reminder that if anyone has any questions at all throughout the session, to feel free to submit those using the Q&A button towards the bottom of your screen. Any questions at all, our representatives are here and available to answer them. Our next representative is from Johnson & Wales University.
Hello, everybody. My name is Marisa Marcy, and I'm so excited to share with you Johnson & Wales University. We're a very different university. We actually have two campuses, Providence, Rhode Island, and Charlotte, North Carolina. They're both beautiful locations, but it's all one university. So you can choose whether you want to be in the north or the south. You can even go a year or two to one location and a year or two to the other. Again, it's all one university, but Providence is a great city. It's the creative capital of the US. There are more college students in Providence per capita than any other city. And Charlotte is the second largest financial district in the country. So both are amazing universities, campuses. At both, what sets us apart is that Johnson & Wales is all about learning by doing. We don't have any of those huge lecture halls with hundreds of seats. You're going to be in small labs doing hands-on work. And these are examples of some of our learning labs in Providence. In fact, you can see that up in the top, it looks more like a business setting than a classroom. That's our criminal justice lab down on the bottom. We have sports, entertainment, event management. Here in Charlotte, that's a fashion merchandising labs. Again, very hands-on learning by doing in small class settings where your professors really get to know you well. And they're phenomenal. They are all experts in their field. And because of the small class sizes, they really get to know you and they become your mentors. Another distinguishing factor with JWU is that you jump right into your major. So you'll be taking classes in your major in your freshman year. And that's different. At a lot of universities, usually the first 2 years are all of your general education classes, but we want you getting hands-on experience in what you ultimately want to do. And we have over 50 majors, everything from business, culinary arts, hospitality, health and wellness, pre-law, psychology, liberal studies, and so much more. And we are very well known. A lot of times people know us for our culinary arts program, and we are one of the leaders in that field. And it's not just the classical, it's everything from the future of food, sustainability, food as part of the culture, nutrition, dietetics. What sets us apart too is our career outcomes rate. We have a 97.7% career outcomes rate. And what that means is that when almost all of our students graduate, they are doing what they want to do, whether it's launching their careers or going on to grad schools. And we do have grad programs at Johnson & Wales, physician assistant as well. We also have a 3+3 law school program, an MBA. But how we get that astounding outcomes rate is our internship program. For at least one full semester, instead of going to class, you will go to a real world employer. And we have them all over the country, as well as international as well. And more than half of them pay. Another thing I wanted to share too is that we have a beautiful diversity at both of our campuses. Students from all 50 states and more than 50 countries. So both campuses are very inclusive, very welcoming, and outside of the class, there's so much to do with over 150 clubs and organizations. We have fraternities and sororities. We have athletics, and we're the Wildcats. And we had that way before Disney's High School Musical did. We were founded way back in 1914. And we have beautiful dorms. Our dorms, you actually get to pick your room and your roommates. We even have pet-friendly dorms. It's very easy to apply to Johnson & Wales. We're on the Common App. We have our own site. It's no fee either way. And we take a holistic approach to reviewing your application. We're SAT, ACT optional. Your scores can only help you. They can't hurt you. If you want to apply early action, it's non-binding, and the deadline to submit your app and transcripts is November 1st. After that, it goes into rolling admissions, and you can receive college credit if you're taking AP classes, if you're in IB, or if you're dual enrolled. Almost all our students receive financial aid and lots of ways to get scholarship, merit-based, need-based, also with national student organizations. If you've ever been a member of DECA, FCCLA, FBLA, HOSA, Skills USA, those are all scholarship avenues with us. We are open for both in-person and virtual tours. If you just go to jwu.edu/visit. Also, to get more information, there's our Wildcat Willie, our mascot. You can text the word Wildcats to 75192. And here's my contact information. I'll also put it in the chat afterwards. My colleague, Stacy Thomas, is also a great resource, but we hope you will come to visit Johnson & Wales. That's one thing I urge you, whatever colleges you're looking at, the virtual opportunities are great, and we have experience days. We have ways that you can do hands-on through your computer as well, but there's nothing like actually being on a campus to really get the vibe and the energy. So we hope you'll come and visit us at Johnson & Wales and experience the difference here. Thank you all so much. Bye for now.
Great, thank you so much. Great information shared. The next representative is from Temple University, Japan campus.
Yes, Catherine. Yes. Oh, can you see my screen? Because my
Yes,
computer.
we can. Yep, we can see it.
Okay, good. Thank you.
You're
Yes.
welcome.
Yes. Hello from Tokyo, Japan. My name is Ha. I'm admissions counselor from Temple University Japan campus. I'll call TUJ for short. TUJ is the international branch campus of Temple University main campus in Philadelphia. It is one of the largest public research universities in the US, and it's the biggest school in Philly. And we are branch campus in Tokyo, Japan. So it means you earn the same degree, but you do it in Tokyo. Yes, and Temple has 3 campuses in the world. The main campus is in the US, and 2 branch campuses in Rome, Italy, and Tokyo, Japan. So because we're the same university, it's very easy for students to transfer among 3 campuses. For example, you can start at our Japan campus, then you can go spend 1 or 2 semesters studying abroad in Rome, transfer to our main campus anytime to finish the degree. But most of our students spend all 4 years and earn the degree at our Japan campus. We offer 10 majors in liberal arts field. Please look at the screen for the list of majors we offer. So the most popular majors are international business studies, communication studies, art, international affairs. We also offer the 2+2 computer science program, where you spend the first 2 years in Tokyo and the last 2 years in Philly to finish the degree. And all classes at TUJ are in English, so you don't need to know any Japanese to apply. Our campus is located in an area called Sangenjaya in Tokyo. TUJ is just located, it's just a 5-minute train ride away from Shibuya Station. For those who don't know, Shibuya is one of the major districts for young people in Tokyo, and it's the must-visit spot for tourists when in Japan. This is like Times Square, New York. So our students really enjoy the campus location because after school, they can just hop on the train for a few minutes, and then there they are in Shibuya, because there's so many fun things to do there. This picture here is the Shibuya crossing. It is one of the world's busiest crossing and super famous. And so if you're really interested in urban campus setting, then TUJ is the place for you, because we are located in the central location of Tokyo. So next, I would like to talk about what TUJ has to offer. So we're located in Tokyo, but the degree and credits you'll be earning will be Temple degree, Temple credits, exactly the same credits and degree that student in Philadelphia earn. The only difference is that you do it in Tokyo, Japan. And if you're taking AP, IB, or any college credits, you can also have those credits transferred to TJ, which helps you to save time, money, and efforts. Talking about the tuition and fees, please look at this chart, which compares TJs and public and private universities in the US. As you can see, it's about 40 to 50% lower. TJ's tuition fee is about $15,000 per year. So it's even cheaper for you to go out of the country to study abroad than go out of states. And the degree you'll be earning will still be American degree. So the question is, why not, right? And we also, because we're American university, so of course you can use American benefits like FAFSA, private loans, or GI Bill if you have the benefits. We also offer merit-based scholarships, which are very easy to apply. And we are located in Tokyo, and as you know, Tokyo is the biggest city in Japan, the most developed city in Asia. So there are many opportunities when it comes to part-time jobs, internship, and full-time jobs after graduation. Talking about jobs, we have a career development office to help students find jobs in Japan, or even back in their home countries, to help them prepare for job hunting, how to write resume, and everything. Yes. And internship is a distinctive feature of teacher education. For some majors like international business studies or international affairs, internship is required and it's credit-bearing internship. You can also see a list of companies here that have recruited our students for the internship program. This is Amani. She's a political science major and she took part in the internship program at US Embassy in Tokyo. And she really enjoyed this experience because it was very helpful for advancing her career prospect. And besides, we also organize career fairs. We invite companies to TJ to recruit our students. You can also see a lot of big names company here. Yes. And with the support from the Career Development Office, our employment rate is 97%. Yes, so many international students choose to stay in Japan after graduation because having working experience overseas will be very helpful for the career prospect. Yes. So next, how to apply. There are two ways to apply to TJ. You can either apply directly to TJ or through Common App. If Common App, please be sure to select the Japan campus because it's different from our main campus in Philadelphia. Yeah, but no matter what you choose, this is the list of what we require. So we need your application form, your personal statement. In terms of test score, if you're native English speakers, it's optional for you. But if you have taken the test and if you think that it will complement your application, you should submit it. And we also require official transcript and an application fee. And after you submit everything, the result will be sent to you within 4 weeks. It is very straightforward and very simple. We'll be guiding you through the application process step by step. So that's all about TJ and the application process. If you have any questions, feel free to submit in the Q&A box, or you can reach out to us later at this email address, ac@tj.temple.edu. And don't forget to follow us on our social media. You can see how it is living in Japan and studying in Japan. And it's run by our students. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you continue to stay safe and healthy, and wishing you all the best for your studies. Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you. Just as mentioned, another friendly reminder that if you have any questions at all, to feel free to submit those using the Q&A button towards the bottom of your screen. Any question you have about the college application process, or even if you have a specific question for one of our representatives, we encourage you to include the institution name. Our next representative is from the University of Roehampton.
Thank you, Catherine. All right, hopefully you guys can see that okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Haley Drogas. I'm the regional manager for North America from University of Roehampton, and we are considered London's campus university. We are considered London's campus university because we have a beautiful Parkland campus located in Southwest London in the UK. So our students really get best of both worlds. They have everything that a traditional university campus has to offer, but they also have everything within London at their fingertips. And we have a student body of 9,000 students on campus. And of the 9,000 students, we have approximately 146 nationalities represented. And 20% of our students are overseas students. So that percentage would include our USA students. And we have a great rate of 93% of students finding work within their chosen career field or choosing to further their studies within the first 6 months of graduating with us. And two of my favorite fun facts about Roehampton is that we are the 5th oldest school in the UK for higher ed. Our Whitelands College dates back 180 years. And we were also, the Whitelands College, were the first school in the UK of higher ed to admit women. So very proud of that. And we currently rank 5th among London universities for overall student satisfaction, which means a lot because, of course, that takes into account everything from our campus, student life, the faculty, the staff, the research, the academics, everything. Now, just to show you where Roehampton is in proximity to central London, we are the Green Building right by Wimbledon for any tennis fans out there. And we're also right next to the Royal Park of Richmond. And if you follow the green squiggly line, which is the River Thames, right up the river, you'll see the cluster of pictures together. That's central London. You can see the little Big Ben icon for the Houses of Parliament there. And if you scan that QR code, it'll take you to our virtual tour so you can get a feel for what our beautiful area of London is like. And we are a very quick commute to central London for any major metro area students that are on today. You'll be like, oh, that's easy. That's like a quick commute into DC or New York for me, depending on where you live for today's fair. But I always think of it as if you live in Brooklyn in the US, it's just like going into Manhattan. So by bus, you're looking at around 20 to 30 minutes, depending on traffic. By tube or train, you're looking at between 15 to 25 minutes to get into central London. So very quick commute, but it's great that you also have everything of the suburbia of Southwest London. And then here is a digital graphic to show you what our beautiful campus looks like. We have 2 lakefronts, little ponds or lakes on campus, tons of greenery, which what more can you ask for during these trying times, right? To be able to come out of class, rip off that mask and breathe in the fresh air. So we love our campus. We have a great program called Roehampton, pun intended, where students can help plant produce on campus, and it's actually used in the cafeterias and cafes to make food. So that's always fun. And on this graphic, 3 of our 4 historical colleges are listed. Our Whitelands College is about a 10-minute walk away. And here is a list of our undergraduate program offerings. The great thing about studying in the UK is our bachelor's degrees are only 3 years in length. So you're not only going to save time on your undergraduate studies, but also money. And some of our more popular programs for US students who study with us are our dance programs, which were ranked as one of the top dance programs in the UK, our psychology programs, our English and creative writing programs, and then our film program. A little bit about our entry requirements. You're typically looking at between a 2.8 to a 3.0 on your high school transcripts to apply with us. We are test optional, but we always say it won't hurt you if you submit them. It can only help. So if you got a great score, please do feel free to submit those test scores. And as you can see, a few of our programs do require additional entry requirements, but just those few specific ones. We are on the UCAS application, which is the UK version of the Common App. And then we also have a free application on our website, and we have rolling admissions. So you can apply with us any time of year. And it is quite affordable to study with us overseas. If you take into account that, again, you're only paying for 3 years of school instead of 4 for your bachelor's. And also, if you're comparing it to studying at a private US institution or an out-of-state public institution in the US. And we are on the FAFSA, so you can utilize US federal loans. We have Sally Mae loans as well that you can use, and GI Bill. So you can use a lot of funding that you would get studying in the US to study with us. And we have a lot of scholarships available for US students. 66% of the research done on campus is a world-class standard. And in some of our programs, as you can see, psychology, sociology, history, drama, and dance, 100% of the research done in those areas is a world-class standard, and we're very proud of our research ranking in the UK. We have wonderful accommodations on campus, both in old historical buildings and in new modern buildings. And the great thing about studying with us is everyone gets their own bedroom. And you may have your own private bathroom as well, but that just depends on which accommodation you choose, but everyone does get their own bedroom, which is great. And we have meal plans available for US students. And as I said, they're really lovely. And I always say you can't get any better, more affordable accommodation in London. We have great campus and college life at Roe. So the ethos of Roehampton is based on social justice and equality, which I think is, of course, very important. And a lot of our US students find that they want to get involved with things like the student union. So there's a lot available that you can find at our institution like you would in the US. One more thing to highlight is if you're a Harry Potter fan, our 4 historic colleges compete every year for the College Cup challenges, which is very similar to them competing for the House Cup in the book and movie series. We have competitor sports available as well, and we are the official university partner for the premier football club, Crystal Palace. And that is all. Thank you all so much for your time. Please feel free to reach out with any questions, and I'll put my email in the chat. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Our last representative, but certainly not least, is from American University.
All right, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Michelle Stinson. I'm an assistant director of admissions at American University, and I work with students who attend high school in DC as well as Virginia. So thank you for coming out for logging on this evening. So AU, we're located in Washington, DC, but we're about 4 miles from the White House. And so with that being said, our college campus feels like a college campus, and that's something that we really appreciate just about the neighborhood that we're in, the closeness to Embassy Row, things like that as well. Another thing is also that our students, we offer a U-Pass, which is an unlimited Metro card for undergraduate and graduate students. So even though you're not right downtown, you don't have to worry about paying for the Metro and then bus fees and things like that as well, because we want you to also have the opportunity for not only when you have internships to get there and not have to worry about transportation, but also just to explore the area. We're excited that we are located in such a great location, and we want our students to get to experience that as well. So just to get an idea of our student body, we got just under 8,000 undergraduate students and just over 6,000 graduate and law students. And our average class size is around 23. Student to faculty ratio campus-wide is 11-1. So something that's really, that we really appreciate about the feel at American University is this idea that it might start to feel like a private, small private liberal arts school, as far as just being able to really interact with your professors, with your advisors, feeling that support, getting those recommendations on, potential internships, things like that. But then also we have the scholarly resources of a large research institution. So that is a part of the curriculum, and we're really proud of that, to be able to have kind of the best of both with a mid-sized student body. So here's an array of things about AU. When you apply to American University, you're applying to the school as a whole. And so we have 6 schools and colleges. So whenever you decide you want to declare your major, so by the end of sophomore year, you can double major. You don't have to double major within the same school, and you'll have an advisor within each of those. About 91% of students take part in at least one internship. You'll find that there are students there who do 2 or 3. It's really up to you. We just want you to know that you have the opportunity and the resources to do so. So our Career Center is very integral in that process with internship fairs. And also we want to make sure that it's a part of the curriculum as far as students knowing that they can receive course credit. And there are also some paid internships as well. We have over 150 clubs and organizations on campus. And among that also, we are a Division I Patriot League school. We have 20 faiths represented. And if your faith is not represented, somebody in our spiritual center will put you in touch with someone in the DC area. About 60% of students study abroad during their time at American. So with that, you can go for an alternate break, a semester, or a full year. It's really up to you. And once again, our AU Abroad department is very helpful in getting students those opportunities and just helping you through that process. So something else that I want to make sure that I cover, just our admissions and financial aid deadlines. So we have 2 early decision deadlines and then a regular decision deadline. So with early decision, or whichever you're applying for, the financial aid documents, if you're applying for need-based aid, is also required at that deadline. So just to keep in mind, we don't have early action. And for early decision 1, you'll find out by or before New Year's. For early decision 2, due January 15th, you'll find out by or before Valentine's Day. And then for regular decision, due January 15th as well, you'll find out by or before April 1st. And just on the right side of the screen, we have our middle 50% GPA, SAT, and ACT. Something that I want to make sure that I cover is also that we are test optional, and we have been test optional for about the past 11 years or so. So if you do take the ACT or the SAT and you want to send those scores, I just recommend looking at the middle 50, seeing where you fall within that. Also understanding that we accept 25% above and 25% below. But we just want to make sure you're also feeling as confident as possible and that you're putting your best foot forward just in applying to AU. So right now, I also just want to give you some contact information as well. Feel free to reach out if you have questions about setting up visits or anything like that. We also are doing in-person visits on campus. I'll be doing a little bit of travel here and there in the Virginia area. But thank you all for coming out, for showing up tonight, and feel free to let me know if you have any questions either through the chat or through email. Thank you all so much.
Great, thank you. And so much great information shared by all our representatives, and really exciting at this point to dive into our Q&A portion of this session. So I invite all our representatives at this time to please turn on their cameras, to get ready to unmute themselves. And we'll go ahead and jump into our first question here, which is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? What advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And we'll go ahead and get started in the same order in which you all presented it.
Alrighty, so one piece of advice that I would give to students going through the search process is, if you're unable to make it to universities, definitely utilize the resources that are on their website. Since the pandemic, a lot of schools have created virtual tours of campus. So that's just one of the ways that you can really get to know what the campus might look like if you're unable to make it out to wherever it may be. Thank you.
Awesome. My piece of advice would be to ask questions, no matter how big, small, or silly they feel. I think any question that pops into your head throughout this process is something that you should ask. And I can speak for myself, and I feel like 100%, well, 99% confident that I can speak for my colleagues that we're more than happy to answer any questions that you have. So just ask away.
I would share that sometimes I think students overstress what to major in. I think if you're a senior right now, the early bird gets the worm. And I think the earlier you can apply to the colleges of your choice, the better. And if you're stuck on what major to do, like Chase shared, contact us and all the other admission reps at the colleges you're looking at. And then keep in mind, there are lots of options because you might have a lot of interests. And like, for example, at Johnson & Wales, you can even design your own major. You can come in as undeclared. So talk to reps about all the different options that you have, and don't lose sleep over what to major in.
Yes, my advice would be like to follow some of your college of your choices on social media, because you're gonna see how life there on campus is like, and you can, if you can imagine yourself living and studying in that campus, on that campus. That's my advice. Thank you.
I always say there are no stupid questions. Feel free to ask us anything. That is why our positions exist at the universities. That's what we're here for. And not only ask us any questions, but see if there are current students, maybe they're student ambassadors at the school you're looking at. Maybe they have a platform like Unibuddy. So see if you can even chat in live time or set up a call with a current student, because they're in the shoes that you potentially want to be in, so to speak. So they can answer firsthand with the experience that you're looking for.
So a bit of advice that I would offer is, I'm sure you're aware of what your friends are doing, where they're applying, where they want to go. And it's, it's okay to take that in, to think about those things, but also think about it for you. What are you looking for in a college experience? What are you thinking about majoring in? And take stock in the fact that your opinion also matters for whatever path you want to have, especially because wherever you go to college, you want to be able to get those resources that are going to best match you and then the things that you're looking for. So just know that your opinion and what you want also counts in this process.
Great. Thank you so much for all the advice. We'll dive into our second question here, which is, what's one thing you want students to remember about your school? What is one thing you want students to remember about your school?
Alrighty, so I'll go ahead and go first. One thing that I'd like students to remember is, like I mentioned in our presentation, we review applications holistically. So put that time and effort into your application, because if your grades are a little bit low, but I get to know you and who you are as a person through your application, then I can speak highly of you. So really try to put as much information as you can. And also know that if we see growth, that's also a really great positive. So don't get deterred by a school that might have expectations for grades, because if you've shown growth, it's definitely something positive.
That was beautiful. I would say for Simmons, one thing that I wouldn't want anyone to forget is that Simmons is a place where I think passionate students strive. And when I say passionate, I don't mean like you have to be passionate about one specific thing. You can be passionate about anything, and as long as you have a desire to kind of chase that, I think that you'll do well with us. We have the resources and the tools to support you through that. So if that sounds like you, I would love to read your application.
At Johnson & Wales, I would say the one thing I'd like to share is that we really care so much about you while you're here as a student, but also we really care about what happens to you after you graduate. And we want our students to be successful in their careers. And to that end, everything that we do, from taking classes in your major as a freshman, our phenomenal internships, our robust study abroad program, even going to career conferences as a freshman, is geared toward that. Our saying is, once a wildcat, always a wildcat.
Yes, there's one thing I would like you to remember about our school, Temple University Japan campus, is the opportunity to earn an American degree in Tokyo, Japan. So it's like the best of both worlds, where you get to study abroad in Japan, a very safe and cool city, but at the same time, you can still earn an American degree. Yeah, thank you.
I would say that at Roehampton, you may be an international student, but you're not just a number or one of a million, so to speak. Our faculty, or academics as we call them, really get to know their students. They care about their students. They become mentors for them. They help set them up with internships and placements. And that's what we strive for at Roehampton. We want our students to succeed. We want them to form those relationships, keep in touch with the faculty. So we're all about just making sure our students feel their best and know that they matter.
Something to remember about American University, there's a lot of flexibility just in so many ways, not only academically, but also in things that you're involved in, the kinds of people that you're going to meet. That's going to be really important to the experience, as far as just really trying out new things, things that catch your attention, and also realizing that you'll get to interact with a lot of people who do look like you and who don't look like you, and then being able to find that community in all of those areas.
That is a great way to end. And I think all our representatives did a great job of truly just highlighting their respective institutions, and what is one way that you're going to walk away, which one resonated with you the most. And so again, thank you so much for all the information. Thank you so much for just being so open and just answering questions, and being a resource for all those who can reach out. So again, thank you so much to our representatives, our panelists, for being here. We really appreciate your time, but we also thank you so much for joining us. As we close, there'll be a very, very quick 5-question survey that will appear on your browser. If you don't mind filling that out for us, your feedback is greatly appreciated. And lastly, this session is being recorded, including many others, and will be available at strivescan.com/PCACAC. We have now reached the conclusion, and again, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much, and have a great night.